Before Gary's employment, Roto-Rooter was a frequent visitor to Colony Park, an on-call maintenance person not always available. The facility having two 6-inch sewer lines extending the length of the building. The west side line starting in the kitchen, traveling south to the city's main line on East Orangeburg Avenue, the only one to ever back up. The area before exiting to the street was the Alzheimer's wing, where the residents flushing sundry items causing a backup. Gary soon found a contributing factor: the building contractors failed to install a kitchen grease trap. Consequently, even with an occasional hydrojetting of the line, there was still an abundance of 40 years of grease deposited. An afternoon call for a drain line backup, this time originating in the kitchen. Gary attempting to snake the familiar clean-out, but to no avail. A call to Roto-Rooter, they too unable to clear the line, deciding to inspect it with a camera. The camera revealing the embedded pipe network beneath the kitchen concrete floor showed signs of collapse, followed by another casualty. The camera got stuck, and the growing concern: the kitchen would be unable to drain any water and may have to shut down. Gary placing a call to inform the administrator, then scouring the Valley Yellow pages in search of a plumbing source who would respond. The only response was to schedule a later date walk-through appraisal. During a conversation with a non-receptive spokesperson, they suggested calling M. Santos and Sons, an industrial plumbing contractor. Gary calling, finding Tony Santos in the office, agreeing to stop by and appraise the situation later that afternoon. With Santos and Brad's arrival, Tony pointed out what would be involved with the cement floor, the time element, the removal of the cement, the noise of a jackhammer, and the replacement of the pipes. Brad expressing the possibility for the kitchen to remain open, Tony relating, the crew could work at night and lay down a plywood covering so the kitchen could still function during the day. Gary bringing up the subject of a grease trap, Tony suggesting a below-ground commercial trap placed in the blacktop area behind the kitchen. Sashi Singh, the dietary supervisor, remained calm and collected, taking the event in stride, her staff utilizing paper plates, cups, and disposable utensils for resident food service. The outside hot water outlet provided for cleaning the delivery carts was put in use to clean the cooking accoutrements. Much to Gary's surprise, the project was completed in 4 days, including the installation of the grease trap, the project costing over $23,000. Administrator Brad Kikuta, never hesitant in displaying his appreciation to the employees of Colony Park. During the spring, summer, and fall, Gary would wheel the 2 barbecue grills outside, and he and Brad would grill hamburgers, hot dogs, or tri-tips and chicken for the facility staff. Sashi, the dietary supervisor, would provide the salad, sides, drinks, and condiments. The night shift able to partake of leftovers, but also receiving delivered pizzas. Gary and Brad also grilling when social services provided outdoor lunch events for residences and attending family members. Gary having experienced the stewardship of authority throughout his lifetime of employment, but never witnessed the leadership quality of a Brad. His somewhat shielded concerns included the outward appearance of Colony Park, making trips to Home Depot, purchasing flowers and rose bushes, planting them in the area beneath the windows of the residence rooms. Gary proposing a large gazebos for the grass center area of the circular drive in front of the building, Brad concurring with the idea. The environmental services supervisor starting a cost-effective search, but unable to find a ready-made suitable gazebo, putting forth a plan to build the structure himself. With the purchase of the material, he enabled his project, Brad taking time to assist in the pouring of a concrete slab and the laying of a 24-inch wide stone pathway, giving access to the gazebos. Gary wasn't surprised when receiving a request for 3 more similar, but smaller structures in the fenced-in resident patio area, including the same stone walkway presentations. With the department supervisors involved in a diversified number of ongoing projects, quality assurance headed the list, each department given an investigating assignment. The supervisor would draw the name of a skilled nursing facility in Modesto, visit and introduce themselves as a friend or family member of a prospective resident, inquiring and asking about a tour of the facility. Upon completion of the visit, file a written record of their assignment, and during a meeting, verbally critique the physical appearance, room cleanliness, kitchen, dining areas, and social activities of the visited facility. A morning department supervisor meeting being called for an in-service presentation concerning the Alzheimer's unit, the speaker, a psychologist, being introduced. The doctor provided insight to actions the caregivers can take, and changes to the physical environment, the example of a more home-like atmosphere in the day room. Also mentioning a facility placing a wall viewing cabinet at the entrance to the occupant's room, each having a shelf for some type of family memorabilia or pictures. Gary mentioning his interest in the project, Brad suggesting he look into the cost and feasibility. His search for a cabinet or reasonable facsimile was unsuccessful. Everything even close was either too big, or enclosed in glass, which was an absolute no in the Alzheimer's wing. Gary wasn't without a plan B. When all else fails, build it yourself. The project wasn't complex, traveling to Home Depot for the wood, Don's mobile glass, honing the half-inch clear plastic for the front. With maintenance assistant Ray Hernandez assisting, he furnished 9, 2x3 foot, wall-mountable cabinets with sliding plastic front cover plate. Enclosed in the cabinet was a shelf for each of the room's 3 residents. Gary mounted the finished products with welcoming results, cataloging the events and projects of Colony Park, all in a day's work.